It's not huge as such. Thank you, students. I welcome you all the students from engineering, different branches of engineering. So, my dear students, this workshop is very much aligned with the next gen technologies and request you all to be kindly attentive. Every topic for that matter, whether you listen any domain which gets integrated with that topic, whatever topic we have chosen for the workshop is all going to be relevant to all the students who are seated in this hall. So request your attention, and with that I hand over the mic to our MCs to begin the session.
Matt Bullenberg once said that technology is best when it brings people together. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the pre-conference workshop, a precursor to our 6th International Conference on Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Leadership, ICEIL 2024. I, Himnish, am delighted to be joined by my co-hosts Pranav and Srishti. Today, we will delve into the theme of emerging tech trends, a roadmap to future, and we look forward to a stimulating discussion. As we stand on the brink of unprecedented technological advancements, it's essential to stay ahead of the curve and understand the trends shaping our world. This conference will delve into the cutting edge innovations like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and Internet of Things, offering you invaluable insights and strategies to leverage these technologies effectively. Join us as we engage with industry leaders and visionaries to explore how these emerging trends can drive innovation, enhance collaboration, and create a sustainable future. Together, we'll chart a course for success in an ever evolving digital landscape, empowering you to turn challenges into opportunities.
शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धन संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाश्य दीपा ज्योतिर नमोस्तुते. The sacred act of lamplighting is believed to bestow auspiciousness, prosperity, and abundanceness of wealth while eliminating any obstacles that may hinder our intellectual pursuits. As we embark on this collaborative journey, seeking the divine's blessings to illuminate our path, the symbolic gesture serves as a gentle reminder of our unwavering commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and the relentless quest for excellence. I'll now invite the esteemed dignitaries on the dais to kindly step forward to light the lamp.
शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ. मुनियों ने समझी है गुनियों ने जानी वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी. मुनियों ने समझी है गुनियों ने जानी वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी. हम भी तो समझे हम भी तो जाने विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ. हे शारदे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ. हे शारदे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ. हे शारदे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ.
At Amity, we take pride in blending the vibrancy of contemporary practices with richness of timeless traditions. As part of our cherished customs, we extend a heartfelt welcome to our all distinguished guests by presenting them with a sacred Tulsi sapling. This meaningful gesture symbolizes not only our respect for the ancient values. By offering this Tulsi sapling, we celebrate the deepening bond between us and our guests, nurturing a connection that we hope will flourish and thrive, much like the sacred plant itself.
It is with great honor that we welcome Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey, the esteemed director of Amity School of Engineering and Technology and our workshop chair. With over 19 years in academia and 5 years in the industry, his expertise.
Thank you, Pranav. Good morning to all. Good morning. No, good morning. Now we are attending a pre-conference workshop of a conference, the international conference that is going to start from tomorrow. And the topic of that conference is entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. And all three, the combination of all three are very, very important. And that need your complete attention to know it. So once again, good morning. And since it's a pre-conference workshop, the topic of it is the emerging trends and what is the roadmap of the future. So, on behalf of our Honorable Founder President Sir, our Chancellor Sir, Vice Chancellor Madam, on behalf of the whole Amity family and my own behalf, I would like to welcome our guest for today, Dr. Sunita Prasad. She is head of the CDAC Noida, and as per the tradition, we always help our guest with huge round of applause, please. So, welcome, madam. That and I can't see. I mean, this clapping is again one exercise as well. If you put that clapping, will put you. I mean, that will again. You, can I heard? Cannot hear from there. This one. Yes. So at least everybody should know that how, as an Amitian, we welcome our guests to the campus. So and would like to welcome Mr. Sumit Kumar Sharma, who is head of the data analytics so Prest area. And with huge round of applause once again. We have one more. We have some more guests with us. Mr. Umang Jindal, who is going to join us shortly. He is from the Ericsson, and Mr. Atul Bhargava from ST Microelectronics. Mr. Rahul Jain is MD of Matrix Geo Solutions, and Mr. Pradeep Pudwa, I think uh, he have some doubt, but he's the R&D mechanical of at work. So all these industry guests, and we would like to welcome them to MIT University, Uttar Pradesh, and this to the pre-conference workshop of the entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. And as I said, the topic of this workshop is the emerging technologies and what is the roadmap for the future. And you know that being an engineering student, we very much understand and very much interested on what are the emerging technologies for us and how we have to leverage and take forward to these emerging technologies. And all of us are now listening and hearing about a lot of buzzwords in the form of the disruptive technologies that are evolving every month, every week, and disrupting the industry in a huge way in the form of artificial intelligence, in the form of machine learning, in the form of genetic AI, in the form of many more such technologies, robotics, drones, you name it, and there are lot many technologies that is coming up now. And these technologies they are already in the talk. They are already trending in the industry, and they are already required. They are already in need of the industry. And we have the industry leaders in front of you, those who are going to guide you to tell you about what all the skills you need to acquire along with your all technical and core technical skills. And these will be very, very important for you when you are going to the job market or any of your career progression path. Either you are going to start your own venture, again, you cannot spare yourself from these technologies. If you are planning for, of course, most of you are planning for a placement or the job, doing a job, and there these skills will be very, very important for you to acquire from. And now these type of discussion forums will be a platform for you where you can interact with these industry leaders. You can find out what are the roadmaps for you and how you can proceed. And dear students, right now we are really facing this type of gap when the industries are coming to us and the students are really facing difficulty to tell them about how the new and disruptive technologies are being in trend to the industry. So be alert, attentive, and cautious about these type of tech talks. These are going to be very, very helpful for you. And you know that why we had kept about the roadmap to the future. Because we are just moving for and planning for the future. Future in the sense is many of our people had given us some of the mandates for the future. One of the important mandate is to make our country a developed nation by 2047. And that mandate itself is the biggest one which you all are going to drive from. Most of us, when we move to the 2047, will be at our retirement place. And it is not going to affect us, to our life, to our career plans. But for you, it is going to be your peak of the career. And how the technology is changing, you can understand. Every day, every moment, the technology is changing, evolving. So now is the time, dear students, for you to introspect. Are you equipped enough to take this technology forward? Are you equipped enough to take the innovations forward? Otherwise, we will remain as a user for these technologies, which India is no more in the position to accept this now. Right now, the thought process of the Indian, of ours, is we want to innovate. We want to take part actively in everyone. And in many areas, we have already broken the hegemony of so-called developed nations. And now through you students, we want to take forward, and these type of sessions, when you are going to attend, you are going to participate. My suggestion to all of you will be to hear, to listen carefully. Can I ask these three girls, those who are continuously watching their mobile phones? Yeah, what are you looking for? Come forward. Yes, they look jahan khade wahi pe. What are you looking forward now? These three girls, come forward. Come sit front. Come, all three come. We all want to see what exactly you are doing in your mobile phones because they are so much important for you. Come forward, please. Mobile phones are with you only. They are not going anywhere. When we are conducting these type of sessions, are completely for your benefit. For your benefit only. You should be alert. You should be attentive. And you can understand how the job market is shaping right now and what type of challenges and situations we are facing. And many of you must be of the seventh semester. I don't know. Seventh semester we are not for. Fifth semester. How many fifth semester students? Third, fifth. Again, they are going to come very soon to the that place when they are going to face the industry very soon. Seventh semester student, you can ask. So, dear students, be alert again. As I said, be alert, be attentive. Open your minds now and grasp everything that is being given to you from here. And this knowledge will be again incredible. This will be an experiential knowledge for you, what you are learning in the classroom. And if these type of sessions will tell you how much you are able to digest and how the technology is and wisdom is changing your life in a positive direction. So with this, once again, I welcome all our guests this morning. Some of guests, as I said, they are going to join soon, and we are again thankful to our guests this morning. They had spared their valuable time and they are among us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your insightful words as always, sir. I would now like to invite Professor Dr. Madhuri Kumari Ma'am, Deputy Director of Placement and Industry Relations at AMI School of Engineering and Technology, to illuminate us with the insights on the theme of today's event. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Hemnish. Namaskar to everyone. A very pleasant morning as we move into the afternoon, which will be fully engaging and having lot of talks on technologies. We are all set for this workshop. Esteemed industry leaders, guests, Honorable Director Sir, Deputy Director Ma'am, Head of the departments, faculty colleagues, my dear participants, and my team. At Amity, you all know, we very strongly believe in handshaking with the industry and getting the latest of the industry into the academia. We try to keep ourselves abreast with what's going on in the industry with the latest technology. So, keeping that in view, going by this philosophy, we ensure a balanced blend of industry and academia in all the conferences, and so is today when we are hosting this industry focused workshop on the title Emerging Tech Trends, a Roadmap to Future, and which is a curtain raiser of 6th International Conference on Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Leadership, ICEIL 2024, which is brainchild of respected Vice Chancellor Ma'am. She has given us this platform to take it up so that our students are the creator of the job. They innovate, and bring business, work on the business, and take the business to the world. So, with that motto, it is a great honor for all of us to have the galaxies of industry leaders from Center for Development of Advanced Computing, that is CDAC, Noida, Sopra Steria, Ericsson, Matrix Geosolutions, ST Microelectronics, and Edverb. They are all established and globally renowned organizations. I would like to tell you about the main objective of this workshop, which is to explore and discuss the role of emerging technologies and particularly the tech talk around quantum computing, future of semiconductor industry, drone and geospatial technology, future of communication, which is 6G and small satellites, and the last one is advancement in robotics and automation. The session is very, very meticulously designed, and I'm sure that you will have multiple takeaways from this workshop. So, my dear students, as Director Sir has already mentioned, you are at the forefront of a technological revolution, and it is very important for all of you to stay tuned with the advancement. As mentioned already, 2047, India is going to declare ourselves as a developed country, and your role is very, very important. The technologies that you will work with in future, the names that I have already mentioned as part of few of the names that are part of our tech talk: quantum computing, robotics, artificial intelligence, machine learning. All these are not just buzzword, my dear students, but very, very important tool to power yourself, to power us with the future of the advancement. So, as a future engineers, your role will be very, very crucial to understand, embrace this technology in your stride, and take forward the innovations in this area to bring up to a level where our country stands out in the globe. So, with that, I request you all to pay all attention to the tech talk that has been designed exclusively for all of you. Again, as I mentioned, as an engineer, you need to know about all the technologies. May you be from mechanical engineering, civil engineering, information technology, CSE, all in all, you need to know about the technology that's there in the market. So this workshop is again designed completely to make you understand about the aspects of the technology, not really diving deep into the technological aspect, but more so about the application and the future of the technologies. So wishing you all the best, explore all the technologies deeply after you move out of this workshop, and help us all and your country to shape the future for which we are all heading towards. So, with that, once again, welcome you all and thank you for your patience hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your profound words and wisdom. It is with great respect I welcome Dr. Sunita Prasad, ma'am, a highly experienced professional at the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. With over 25 years of dedicated service since joining in July 2000, she has played a pivotal role in various projects and initiatives within the organization. Her extensive expertise and commitment have made her a valuable asset to CDAC and the broader field of advanced computing.
So, can we welcome ma'am with a good round of applause as she prepares for her remarks? Thank you, Professor Pandey, and thank you, ma'am. So it's a pleasure to be a part of this pre-workshop which has been conducted before the International Conference of Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Leadership. So as the theme of this conference goes, so with the going with the spirit of this conference, I will present some of the research work that CDAC has been doing, and CDAC has always responded to the call of the nation with all the innovative products. And definitely, as Professor Pandey mentioned, that we are not in a mood today to be just users. We have to be innovators. So, going by this concept, we have certain research work which is going up in CDAC, and presenting those research work, it's a pleasure for me because you students will get inspired by that, and that is the motive of this pre-workshop. And definitely we are going to have certain tech talks here, which will be very, very important for you. So let me present a few work that we have been doing at CDAC, and then particularly at the Center of Excellence, which is a part of CDAC Innovative Center. So I'll just give a brief about CDAC. Then what is the technology strategy that India is following? And after that, coming to the Center of Excellence, which is, again, I said, an innovative center of CDAC, and this is a national facility. So I will present what is the work that has been going on in Center of Excellence. So, brief about the CDAC. It is a premier R&D institution which is involved in cutting edge technology research, and it has given many products to the nation which is already deployed and they are working. And whatever technologies that we are going to talk about, CDAC is already into that, and we have been developing products for using these technologies, and these indigenous innovative products are already deployed at various centers where they are being used. So in 1988, CDAC was conceptualized by the ministry, by the government of India, and now it has 12 centers across India, and there are about 4,000 plus professionals who are working in CDAC in various technologies. The thematic areas of CDAC that we are going to discuss here also, that is our high performance computing and quantum computing. A lot of work is being done in this. You must be aware of the Rudra server, which is having a computing uh, facility of about 64 petaflops. So that is the Rudra server, which has been made by CDAC, and it can cater to about 100, the computing facility requirement of about 100 institutions. So our HPC center and the quantum computing center, this is under the National Supercomputing Mission. So it is under our National Supercomputing Mission, which was approved in 2015. And indigenous supercomputing ecosystem, which is been developed in a phased manner to assembly, manufacturing, design, and manufacturing HPC systems. So as I mentioned, we have the latest one is the Rudra server, which is having a computing facility of about 64 petaflops and catering to about 100 institutions.
Quantum computing is also one of our areas in which the professionals are working. So, using quantum computing, we need to tackle the problems which require too much of computing facility. So, that is what our quantum computing division does. So, they are regularly interacting with the HPC, our high performance computing group, and quantum computing group. They are working together to develop some solutions which require very high computing requirements. Then we have a Digital India RISC-V processor which is being developed, and under this mission you must be knowing that CDAC has developed the Vega processors which is now being used, and it is going to be commercialized. It is in the prototype phase where we are testing the beta versions of these Vega processors. And strategic electronics, it is one of our main areas in which we are working. And different institution, as I mentioned, that in CDAC we have 12 centers across India. We have CDAC Trivandrum, which is mainly working in strategic electronics, developing very good solutions for defense, even for civilians. So for civil use and for defense use, we have developed many solutions. Underwater submarine type of systems we have developed. Software solutions, many of the software solutions, we are already working in the latest technologies like AI and other software solutions we have deployed at various centers. Health informatics, this we have eSanjeevani. You might be knowing, you might have heard eSanjeevani, because eSanjeevani is a you say telemedicine type of system which is been used. It is widely used. It is already deployed everywhere. So eSanjeevani is one of the famous systems which has been deployed everywhere, developed by CDAC Mohali. And besides this, we have eShushrut, we have e-blood bank solutions also. Cybersecurity and cyber forensics, a big area where CDAC is doing very good work. We have solutions also developed for this, software solutions as well as hardware solutions. And besides this, we are running many capacity building programs in this, so that awareness of cybersecurity and cyber forensics, which is the need of the hour, that is catered by CDAC. Multilingual computing, and NLP is our division. Pan India, we are developing many solutions for under multilingual computing. Like Bhashini is one of our products which is being used. Then 5G, IoT, SDN, edge computing, these are also the areas in which various CDAC centers are working. And education and training definitely is one of our areas in which we try to build the capacity in the various latest technology. So just a brief of what the different centers are doing, CDAC centers. So if I come to Noida, we are doing very good work in health informatics, e-governance, then embedded system solutions. We have deployed the metro gates at various points. So we have developed the software solutions for that, and hardware solution was developed in collaboration with Bell. CDEC Noida Center specifically, we have two campuses of CDEC Noida. So one is the R&D campus, and the other is the academic block. So catering to various R&D solutions like health informatics, speech and NLP, data center we have, and project manager and SQA department also. Now, if I talk of the technology strategy that India is following, so one of them we have, there are four verticals that the government is looking at. One is the strategic electronic technologies, in which the purpose or the objective is to have economic development and national security.
Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
So there are mainly four verticals that the government is looking at. The first one is the strategic technologies, under which the purpose of government is to have economic and national security. And we have the mainly R&D, which is related to defense, nuclear space, or the dual use technology, that is there in the first vertical. The second vertical, which the government is promoting, is the critical digital technologies, in which besides economic growth, the government is also looking at employment. And here we have the semiconductor, electronics, telecommunication, digital public infrastructure. All these come under the second vertical of the government. Third vertical is of emerging technologies for national competitiveness, under which the government is looking to uh, increase the capacity or do the capacity building in artificial intelligence as quantum computing and the other technologies, which we are going to talk about in this session also. Then green or the clean energy and biotechnologies. So this is basically for the strategic international partnerships that we have to abide by. So solar energy, usage of solar energy, the electrical vehicles, all these are the main focus of the fourth vertical. These are the four verticals which the government is promoting, and under different verticals, different technologies are there, which uh, which the government is looking at and also promoting the R&D in different technologies. Now, coming to the Center of Excellence, which is um, there in CDAC Noida, and for which the tagline is catalyzing indigenous solutions for mobile industry. Now, if you see this tagline, it already says that we have to develop indigenous solutions for mobile industry. Mobile industry is one of the industries which is having a huge potential. You have a market of about 20,000 crore in mobile industry, but now the uh, problem is that it is flooded with the solutions which are from our neighboring country, mainly you can say China. So because of this mobile industry, indigenous solutions are not there, indigenous designs are not there. So we are not able to take advantage of this 20,000 crore industry. That is why the this center was built basically on the objective that we will be designing some indigenous solutions out there. It is mainly related to the electronic products. We will design those products, and then we only then we can have the import substitution. Like we will be able to cut off the products that are coming from our neighboring country, and we can offer the products of our own country made or make in India products to the users. So that's why this center was built. So, as I mentioned, there are a lot of challenges in the electronics industry. There is challenge in the supply chain. We do not have adequate supply chain because once when you build the product and it goes for mass manufacturing, then you require a constant supply chain also. So that is not existing right now in our country, or it is very difficult to find. Then quality, quality control issues are there because we are not able to implement the uh, accreditation or the certification policies very properly in our country. There is a lack of innovation. The complete ecosystem is not existing in our country. We have to build. So, taking up the first step, that is how we can build. If we don't take the first step, we will not be able to reach anywhere. So, we have to take the first step and we have to build it. And the Center of Excellence is one such center, which you can say it is the first step taken by the government to cater to the need of the mobile industry and capture the market, which is now uh, in the hands of our neighboring countries. So, perspective was this, as I mentioned, that it is a very huge market, but we are right now users. We don't have designs which are made in India. We don't have, you say, ECAD or MCAD, any type of designs we do not have. We are just doing trading or we are just doing assembly. So, to get the full utilization of the market share that we can potentially tap into, we need to have our own designs. So, with this perspective, the government of India, basically our Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and government of UP, they together collaborated to build this center in which we are doing research and development, we are doing testing, we are promoting the electronics ecosystem chain. So that is the work of this center. So it kick-started as a, with this idea it has started. So our sponsoring agencies are MIT and Government of UP, and implementing agencies are CDAC Noida and ICEA, which is India Cellular and Electronics Association. So here what we do is innovation and it's an entrepreneurship center. We encourage the researchers, we encourage the startups to come to our center, do designing. As Professor Pandey told me that you many of the students are already entrepreneurs and they are developing solutions. So if you're working in electronics domain, we invite you to work with us, and because you can leverage the facility which is already given by the government for this purpose only. So for innovation and entrepreneurship, our center can be used. Our main objective is to have the indigenous designs. If I uh, if I mention that the earlier the focus of the government was make in India. Now make in India is broader. Now they have narrowed down, and now the focus of government is the design in India. So starting from the concept, the design should also be available because design contributes to around 30 to 40% of a product. So if you have the design and you have the ownership of that design, then it is very easy to tweak that design, or you can add more features to that. Right now, what is happening? The designs are taken from China. If you want to tweak even a single feature out of that, you have to get back to your supplier in China. They will charge you a hefty amount. Maybe they will do it or not do it. That depends on them. And then they will provide you with a certificate which is written in Chinese. So all these actually matters for the quality of the product which is being um, which is going to the market. So to have a control of all this, indigenous designs should be made here. then definitely we can have intellectual property out of that. Standardization and testing support. Standards are very important. Whenever your product is going into the market, it is uh, it is very important that you meet the standards. And standardization means that your product is of global quality. So that will increase the exports also. So if you are working in this field, then you have to take care of the standardization also. So this will make your product commercial. It is not going to be a lab prototype of thing. It is going to be a commercial product if you follow all the standards which are required for a product to be commercial. Then we provide technology guidance, knowledge and skill management is also our work. So for entrepreneurs and for startups or any industry working in this domain, we provide R&D design infrastructure, design hub for SMEs, the complete cycle for design and development, and building up the startup community, which definitely saves our foreign exchange and generating the employment. So, as we were discussing with Professor Pandey, we have different labs in which these facilities are available. And I invite students from MIT to visit our lab and definitely work with us also. Some glimpse of our COE facility. The products, indigenous products which we have developed in the lab, that are, some products are wireless charger. Now we have developed neckband also, RFID access control, mobile charger, digital radio. All these products are in-house developed. Along with some of the products are along with some industry, and some of the products are by the in-house Center of Excellence team. So the services that we are providing to our SMEs, that is the design service, the testing service, training services, and technology transfer also, because we need to have more and more Indian designs proliferate the market. So we are doing technology transfer to the industries. So USP of our COE is indigenous electronic products, comprehensive testing that caters to international standards, and with that accelerate the time to market with advanced prototyping and iterative testing. So our Center of Excellence, as it is, you say, a government institution and a pet project of MIT and government of UP, Shri Jitin Prasad, Honorable Union of Minister, he visited our center last month only, and he said that there is a need for having more such center of excellence, because through this center of excellence only we will be able to support the entrepreneurs and the startups, so that more and more innovation is carried out in India itself. So this is the contact. You can contact us, and as I said, definitely I invite all MIT students to visit our lab and to work with us. And with this, thanks a lot for patiently listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am, for enlightening us about what CDAC is and how its impact has been for this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla, Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, and the head chair of this conference. I would now like to invite Manoj Kumar Pandey sir and Madhuri Kumari ma'am to offer the sacred Tulsi sapling to Balwinder ma'am.
Thank you so much for giving
A huge round of applause, please. Prepare to be inspired as we welcome a true beacon of leadership and vision. It is my distinct honor to introduce the dynamic force behind Amity. Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla Ma'am, the head chair of the conference. A huge round of applause, please.
Our most respected Honorable Founder President, Honorable Chancellor, a very distinguished and esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Sunita Prasad, Head Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Mr. Sumit Kumar Sharma, Head of Data Analytics, if you find those students who have done the good work under the supervision of the faculty and the someone from your organization, they can then continue that as a project in your company in the final semester, something like that. So we like, if we really want to realize this dream of Viksit Bharat, where the skills and competencies are going to play a very important role. So your, as an industry professional, your role is going to be very, very important. Otherwise, if the student keep on doing a project, on their imaginative or something like that, that may not be useful to anybody, neither to them nor to the industry. So where are we achieving that ultimate goal? And so therefore, my humble request to all of you is that let's sit one day, because now we, for next 3 days we are going to be very busy, and after that let's sit together and see what all we can do. We can, maybe your HR heads will also play a very important role, because the certain things are the HR heads play important role, or the top leadership. But let's work out that, being the neighbors, NCR region, I think academia industry collaboration is extremely important. So I will request Dr. Madhuri and Dr. Pandey to, after the ICL conference, let's work out and have these group discussions and see what we can do together. When MIT was established in 1995, when we had our very first institution, MIT Business School, at that time, our Honorable Founder President established Corporate Resource Center with the objective, this Corporate Resource Center will be the resource center to the industry to provide the skill, manpower. At the same time, this corporate resource will be a resource to the university, to the institution, to bring the industry expert to interact with the students and faculty and create that awareness. What is the current situation, what is the future trend, so that the academic institution can develop the students as per the industry needs. And we tried our best, but I think this is the only one relationship which is the constant relationship industry academia, and need to be strengthened. People will change, institution will remain the same, organization will remain the same. The people may change, but I think with that bonding which is between the institutions is that, and corporate, that will remain constant. The only thing is, I always believe, out of sight, out of mind, so therefore it has to be constant reminder that let's meet more frequently, interact with more frequently, and to develop the future leaders, technology leaders, who will be take the country to the next level. Thank you very much and a very warm welcome. Dr. Manoj, I've got the next session, so I would like to leave. So
Thank you, ma'am, for your profound words. They truly inspire us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce Umang Jindal, the head of RAN Software and Network Performance at Ericsson India, Southeast Asia, and Oceania. With over 20 years of experience in the telecom industry, Sir is a highly accomplished and results oriented professional who has consistently driven business development initiatives and fostered key partnerships to propel revenue growth. His deep expertise spans voice, data, and enterprise applications, making him a forward thinking leader with a keen understanding of industry trends and customer demands. Today, he will be sharing his insights in a tech talk on future of communication, 6G and small satellites, where he will explore the groundbreaking advancements shaping the future of connectivity. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Umang Jindal sir to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible at the back? Some sound, please. Can somebody wave your hand if I'm audible? Great. Good. Hello, everyone. This is Umang Jindal. I come from Ericsson, India. Every time I come to a college, it feels like I've gone 20, 25 years back. And I really feel excited to see the charm of the students. And when I was told that, Umang, you have to talk about 6G, I thought I also need to start learning. Something which I don't stop. And I've been learning around telecom since wireline days when we were talking about two wires getting connected, and now we're talking about 6G. So in my today's discussion, I'll talk about 6G and the future technologies around satellites. Maybe we can close the gates, guys. Okay. So I thought I'll. No worries. People want to come in, so or the air wants to go out. Anyway, so I thought I'll start with a video, and I want everybody to look at the video and think about it, because my slides are all around video and what video I'm going to show. So if you can figure out what is happening on the video, we can try and see what the future is. So I hope the sound comes properly here. Great. So what did you guys observe in the video? Is it possible today? Do you want such life, or do we all want such life? And I still feel young when I look at all these videos that there's ample of work that we need to do in this whole journey. I spent around 2 hours reaching this place from my home in Gurgaon, and it was a traffic hours. And I would love to come in 20 minutes. Drone would be my car tomorrow. That's my future that I'm looking at, right? And somebody, my kid or my wife, is controlling the drone so that I go to the right place, don't go to the wrong place, right? That's what I look in from a technology point of view. But having said that, if you look at the video, I'm still running a video here. You see, there was a lady driving in, and then you can see there's a bus coming in. The intention is she wants to drive smoothly. The bus guy doesn't want to look into it. We want to avoid the accident. How is it possible? We have been talking about, vehicles and everything around that, but the reality is we are talking about a lot of energy sensors, small, smart energy sensors. Our dresses, our jackets, our shirts, our trousers, they'll all have energy sensors. That's one thing that I'm trying to bring up. And they will all be actuated on different rates depending upon different actions that humans want, that the machines want. That's the another way to look at it. The second piece is, all these things that you see, the buses, the sensors, people, machines, vehicles, they're all talking to each other. We have been listening when we grew up, at least when I grew up, that, bees, honeybees, animals, everybody talk. So when we have grown up, we don't have bees and honeybees around surrounding us. We have machines surrounding us. In my house, I have a lot of electronics. In your house, you would have a lot of electronics. They all have to talk, and they will talk. Whether you call it a God-gifted talk or a man-created talk. So they all have to communicate and sense each other. Then everything has to happen at a real time. Gone are the days when we said we want to just use internet, and just we were trying to set up this connectivity few minutes back because we said that we have slides which are practically big in size. We can't do an email. So things like email are finishing off. We can't send content every time. We need a cloud. We need a host where we can put the content, and that's how I'm connected. Otherwise, I would not have been able to give my slides be online. So real time and low latency is something which is happening. The fourth piece here is
how secure the communication is and how reliable the communication is. And I think this is what Dr. Sunita also brought in her discussion. Security and reliability is another piece of it. So something on this video. Now look at the other one. The reason I highlighted it as a cloud. We all know cloud as a cloud, but reality is the future is cloud. If you start writing cloud in your profile, I can tell you your selection criteria will increase 10 times. So cloud is the word, not about the cloud which change, but cloud which talks about what is there in the network. How are you storing it? Irrespective of whether it is a telco network or an IT network or a personalized private network, cloud is a big thing. So security processing in the cloud is one big piece of the puzzle, which I think as a technology, when we hire people, it's not only about IT and telecom people that we hire. We get a lot of profiles of kids who are doing mechanical, civil, electrical, finance, people from all the streams, but they have a zincs towards cloud. They want to work onto that. They are coders, they are developers, they are people who are working on automation, AI, machine learning, everything. And that's where you see personalization of surroundings and automation. That's another area, because I want my area to be personalized as per me. It is not about the society to do it. And that's where 6G is going to play a bigger role. And then it is all about the intent, which I just covered. The last piece of the puzzle is, how do you authenticate the communication between people? And that is what was there. If you remember this part of the video, there was a lady talking to a guy. The reality is we can't meet all our friends. First of all, we don't have a lot of friends, but when we have friends, we need them to be live with us. And if we don't have friends, then we want to be, connected through AR glasses, connect glasses, metaverse is getting developed as we speak. And if I'm not wrong, there are around 9 companies who are working on such platforms. Just imagine the next generation which comes to the colleges, they will all be connected on Meta. Just imagine the kids who are of the range of 3 to 4 years during COVID time. How will they behave 10 years down the line? They will not be talking to people, they will be talking to machines. And that's where advancement in devices is one thing which we see coming up with 6G. The biggest piece of the whole puzzle is bandwidth. We've been talking about few kbits of speed, we're talking about 2 MB, 4 MB of speed, but then we're talking about high densities, high bandwidths, 30 to 40 Mbps minimum to minimum requirement. And how is it possible? It is only possible when we have huge amount of either spectrum or fiberization. We can't carry fiber along with us always. We just need some wireless connectivity, and that's where 5G and 6G plays a major role. So in 5G, we are talking about spectrum in the range of 100 to 500 megahertz. But down the line, we're talking about 1000 megahertz to few thousands of megahertz per device. Device like this, they will be carrying around 1000 to 2000 megahertz of connectivity always. And just imagine if it is like 1000 megahertz of connectivity on a device, it will become a microwave. So, you're talking about such a heat. And that's where we want to optimize the whole energy consumption. We want to optimize the compute power of it. And that's where 6G will bring. So all these, edge compute and spatial mapping will get into it. Okay. So that was the whole story around that. But how do I knit it into a technical term? I don't like this slide, but I think sometimes you have to talk technology also. But this is how you knit everything together. On one side, you see a digital world. On the other side, you see a physical world. And that's where the whole connectivity has to happen. The font size is small, so good you don't need to read it. So the messages I want to give here is that, if you want to go into a 6G piece of technology, you need to start looking into the Internet of Senses. You need to look at the connecting intelligently all the machines and the systems that you want to do it. But the key thing is that, all the physical world is connected by multiple senses, and those senses are connected to your digital world. And there's a lot of sustainability, a lot of energy optimization that comes into. Moving on a simple note, I think this is readable from far. We're talking about Internet of Senses, connected machines, programmable physical world, as well as sustainable world. And if I just add on something, this is something new which we see will happen. Interactive 4D maps. Today we are used to Google Maps, you're used to different other machines and maps, but 4D Google Maps is something that we're looking at. 4D interactive maps is something what we're looking at happening around there. Healthcare, what we are expecting now is, if you start seeing today, people have started to wear, sensors on their shoulder for sugar. We have, BPs and other tests happening over here. But reality, the precision into the healthcare and a lot of sensors into human body and machines will really change the whole piece around that. And then we're talking about a lot of clouds. For example, today, most of the content we are storing onto our devices. Down the line, what we expect is that with 6G coming in, hyperspeeds coming in, more and more of content would be stored on clouds, and we would be just connected via the apps. Whether it is gaming, whether it is education, whether it is remote surgeries or vehicle movements, everything would be on cloud, and uh, and that's where we are looking towards a complete sustainable thing. Today, if I look at the whole ecosystem and the industry, where we are heading up is that everybody, whether it is a vendor or an operator or an enterprise, each and every industry in this country, even education institutes, have a target to become a zero, I would say, zero footprint of energy, carbon footprint, I would say. So they just want to do more and more of sustainable networks. For example, if I look at Reliance as an industry, Reliance says that by 2020, by 2045 or 2040, they want to become a sustainable company, meaning that they don't want any, whatever energy they are consuming is converted into a carbon footprint for them. Whether it is the material that they purchase, for example, the packaging material, they want it all to be sustainable. And that's where everybody is looking towards it, that how do you make the entire earth as sustainable? How do you talk about coverage for 6G or 5G uniform? And then how do you talk about sustainable food production? Because food is another thing which will need a lot of sensors down the line. It has started in farming. It has started in a lot of industries where food has been produced. But what we expect is each and every machinery used into the food industry will have hundreds of sensors to talk about the quality and production quantity. Okay, something on the technical side again. I don't know why do you have a lot of technical side, but great. If you look at the triangle, 5G's. If I look at 4G back, 4G was purely that we can talk about devices. The devices we could have voice, video, data. That's it. But with 5G coming in, what's happening around is we are moving from devices, which is EMBB, which is basically called as mobile broadband. We are moving in towards machine to machine communication, massive machine communication, which means that we expect that a lot of machines, whether it is a robotic arm in industry, whether it is a car, they will have sensors into it and they will be talking to something or the other. Then the third piece is ultra reliable low latency communication, meaning we're looking towards a latency of few milliseconds, less than 10, around 5 is the target that hopefully we have it. Why so? Because today, if I look at gaming as an industry, people and kids are playing game in their houses only or into a zone only. We want, or people expect, or the kids expect they can play around in the campus, for example, or they can play around on a bus stop or a train stop where they're waiting for it, so that they can connect it with their friends and do a gaming around that. And for that, you need low latency. So these are the starting points of the technology to grow. So what we expect is with 5G advance, which is practically happening now, for example, in India, but if I look at US, 5G advance is moving on. If I look at Korea, they are happening. There's a lot of things happening around that on an advanced point of view. If I go to Taiwan is really leading into it. They have started talking about 6G use cases as well. So there are countries who are leading into it, but there are countries like I would say Indonesia where 5G still not happened. So India, I would say, is on a great cusp. We are somewhere here touching 5G advance. And the reason I bring it up is today India, one of the operator in India network has the world's highest data consumption. So that means India is consuming more data than China, though we are where we are on the population, but from a data point of view, we are consuming more data as compared to China in one of the networks. And what we expect is in 3 to 4 years, we will be taking around 15 to 20% of the world data will be consumed in India. So what happens in 6G? All these three things that I talked will get further advanced. We will talk about immersive communication. Just imagine you all wearing a headgear, some of the other factors, the glasses, Raven glasses or other glasses, and doing a remote education. Just imagine people sitting in India doing an education from a college in US or Europe. So that's where we look at immersive into education thing. The connectivity would be seamless. Today, again, we have to talk about a lot of firewalls, a lot of routing paths to go global, but we're talking about global connectivities. We're talking about IoT in a big way. So Dr. Sunita talked about IoT as one piece, but reality is we're looking towards omnipresent IoTs. If you look there is an ad around here in the industry. I don't have a copy of it, in which they say that when I saw people were bringing chairs inside, why do you really bring two chairs? You can just design the chairs with sensors onto it and define that, so many chairs have to move in. Believe me, the chairs will automatically move in. And that's the power of IoT. You just configure them that, guys, these many chairs have to come into it with sensors, practically define the time the chairs will start moving in. And that's where we are looking towards the future of IoT and omnipresent IoT. If you're talking about critical services, this is really important, critical services, because today we are all used to using machines and mobiles for self. But just imagine, in India, we have every few months we have one or the other incident because of the population, because of the quality of transport and other stuff. And that's where we are looking at a dedicated services for all those critical communication needs. Maybe it is a train accident, maybe it is a episode happening inside the city, or maybe it is a event like this where we have hundreds of people and we want to have a lot of capacity available for that. So that's what we are thinking will happen around this. And the big piece, which I think is really important for everyone, is AI. We are just starting into a journey of AI. The world is not, I would say that there's huge amount of scope onto it. We talked about different programming language, we talked about different flavors of AI, but with 6G coming in, we will have a shape wherein we can plant all the AI matrices into the real use cases. So something that you can look around it, which I talked about. I'll just touch on one of these things. Guaranteed services for the society and industry. I think that's one thing that we want to achieve with 6G, and where we are expecting it should happen. Some keywords for you guys to look on the technology trend. If you can add these keywords in your profile, I'm sure you'll get a lot of good brownie points when you get interviews, right? Hardware. We're talking about a lot of escalators into the hardware. I'll not name a company. You can think about which companies are working onto it, because the whole compute world is going to change. Today, people are not talking about a server or a blade. People are talking about what is the compute capability that we have on a server and how can we increase the compute. Open source. Open source is all about how do you open the whole technology for multiple, different vendors, different organizations, different softwares to come in. For example, I would say that there are some new entrepreneurs who are trying to build some softwares. How do they integrate their software into a bigger network, maybe a network like Airtel, Jio, or T-Mobile, or AT&T? And that's where open source will really help them. So open source is another area where 6G is interacting on, because we are targeting enterprise segments into it. I did talk about integrated AI because there's widespread of use cases of AI looking into it. I did talk about cloud. I'll not touch on to that. And then we talk about continuous evolution. So I think you guys have heard about DevOps. Anybody? So it means I'm going the wrong direction. I have only one guy listening to me. Okay. So what we're looking at is that, for example, and again an example of a device or a laptop, we get a continuous software updates and upgrades. And DevOps helps you bring the same thing. It not only helps you build more capabilities for your software, it also helps you give a lot of updates and upgrades regularly onto it. And this happens in such a way that we don't want an outage onto the system, whether it is a machine or a complete network. So what we expect is that for our telco networks, because there are a lot of outages today, we are looking at DevOps to practically bring synergies in terms of upgrades and new capabilities. And the last piece is internet evolution, where we're talking about residency into the server and no outage around that. Some more terms which you can look in towards 6G is extreme performance and coverage, enhanced end-to-end connectivity, adaptability of the networks, cognitive networks. This is another big word which is going to be flourishing down the line with 6G coming in, that is cognitive networks. And what we are looking into cognitive piece is that how can we have a platform which can do a lot of pre-planning, planning, operations, deployment, and optimization. So if you look at these 4 or 5 words I said, they are all part of whether we are doing a wedding planning or whether we are executing it, whether we are doing a plan for an education, whether we are doing a plan of buying a car, anything that you do, all these pieces come into it, and this is more towards how can we have a network. Okay, I think this was more around 6G. I'll touch base something on the new trend, which is around satellite communication. You would have heard about Elon Musk talking about satellites today. And if you look at historically, we had VSAT. Has anybody seen an ATM? You know, ATM connected with a VSAT. There is a dish. There used to be a dish connected on an ATM, and now you don't see a dish, right? So what has happened over time? You know, those dishes which were doing VSAT have been replaced with a lot of fiber connectivity. But again, the satellite thing has changed. You know, initially there were a lot of satellites which were geo satellites, which were in the range of, which were running around 36,000 kilometers above equator, right? So the technology is moving more and more close to the Earth. So we see LEO satellites which are running around 2,000 kilometers around the Earth. I maybe if you go and look into these sites, there are many sites on internet which shows how many such LEO satellites are running around the Earth. I can guarantee you guys will be surprised to see there are hundreds of satellites and they're just covering the Earth as a mask. So practically, many companies are rolling out satellites all across the Earth, and they are like they want full connectivity for remote. So what's happening with these LEO satellites? As they are covering the Earth, they are trying to make sure that there is a full coverage of satellites surrounding the Earth. So what does it bring to us? You know, how does it matter to me if there is satellite? I have a mobile phone which works. No, the reality is, good amount of Earth is not connected. For example, sea, land, desert. You know, I recently went to Aravali Hills, and I figured out the moment I entered into the hills, there's no connectivity. I could not even send an SMS, leave the voice or data stuff, right? So that's where the connectivity is. So we have no connectivity the moment we leave the urban area or the connected zone where people live, and that's where we see satellite will play a major role. So some of the examples where we see satellite would be working is on Internet of Things, IoT part. Enhanced connectivity. I talked about, you know, sea connectivity. Just imagine if we have full-time connectivity on the sea, how much infiltration of terrorism can we stop? How much health benefits can we bring into our people living all around the sea? How much disasters can we avoid? So that's one big application we're looking into as an NTN. Talking about operational efficiency and data integrity, we can also look into towards reliable transmission and data from a remote location. Today, if you go to hills, there is no connectivity. Whether you go to Swiss Alps or you go to Himalayas or you go to Manali in India, but there is no connectivity after certain areas, and that's where, you know, all these non-terrestrial networks can really help onto it. And then we talk about scalability. We're talking about a lot of demand, and I'll just take an example of Australia. You know, if you look at Australia on a map, it is a big continent. But if you look at people living on Australia, people are living just around the seashore. 90% of Australia is unmanned, and it has huge source of mines, huge source of minerals onto it, a lot of desert, a lot of food being produced in that, I would say, just rural Australia. And in that part of the world, we have seen IoT connected up to 100 kilometers. You know, nowhere else in the world I have seen, you know, operators rolling out an IoT network for up to 100 kilometers. And that's where we see NTN satellites can be a big thing. Some four applications where we see things happening around agriculture, logistics, environmental, and energy. So logistics, I can take an example of, you know, freight. If you look at sea transportation, today if you look at sea transportation, major amount of transportation happens via sea. Does anybody know what is the cost difference between sea freight and air freight? Any guesses? No. So a sea freight versus a air freight, there's a difference approximately 8% of the price of the product. The product could be millions of dollars or the size of the product, right? So that's the amount of business difference that you bring in with sea freight and air freight. So, and that's where we want it to be tracked, it to be ensured that it is happening much faster. And that's the reason if you see, you know, there are a lot of channels being formed around the world to shorten the sea paths. So what we are expecting is NTN will change the whole logistics of the supply chain from an industry point of view. Again, on energy, if you start looking into it, energy towers, energy poles, energy wires are moving around into all rural part of the world because the connectivity happens over there. And IoT, all this technology can really help us look at the maintenance piece of it, that we can really improve the maintenance part of energy systems. And that's what we're looking from that. So I thought I'll bring some real deployed use cases on satellites. So there's one use case which is with iridium communication, wherein they are talking about connectivity to ships, which I give an example of, and emergency responses. The second use case is into the in-flight services. Today, when you travel inside India or from India to, for example, Singapore, we don't have connectivity by Air India, for example, on with Wi-Fi. But if you go with Singapore Airlines, the moment we cross India Peninsula into the sea, we get Wi-Fi connectivity by Singapore Airlines. How are they getting it connected? It's not only about this. All the international carriers, the US carriers, the European carriers, they provide internet on board, and that's practically for free for certain classes of people on the flight. And that's fairly possible with one of the technologies, which is NTN. I did talk about the agriculture and the fixed site monitoring, so maybe I'll skip this. Wherein Starlink is working really big about agriculture and fixed part. Oh, I think it's done. It happened much faster. So I think this is how I thought I'll talk about 6G and NTN. Any question, guys? No questions? Thank you. Thank you, then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Umang sir, for your enlightening words. It is my distinct honor to invite Mr. Sumit Kumar Sharma, Head of Data and Analytics at Sopra Steria India, to the stage to share his invaluable insights on the fascinating world of quantum computing. With his extensive experience in data and analytics, Sumit is uniquely positioned to explore the transformative potential of quantum technologies and their impact on various industries. Today, he will delve into how quantum computing can revolutionize problem solving, enhance data processing capabilities, and drive unprecedented innovation. As we stand on the brink of this technological frontier, we look forward to gaining a deeper understanding of this cutting edge field and its implications for the future. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Sumit as he takes us on this exciting journey.
Good morning, friends. I hope you can hear me well. Can you? Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Um, so we all know the topic quantum, but then before simply entering into this topic, I would like to take a some step back and want to look at the theme on which we want to have this workshop and have the brainstorming around it. Uh, when we look at our brain, there are two parts, right? Left and right. What is the function of left part of brain? Can anyone tell me? Okay, leave it. What will be the function of right hand side of our brain? Okay. So I think in order to make our brain working, we need to make sure that we ignite both left and right hand side. I would be really requesting you guys to have that participative conversation. I don't want to bore you. We don't want to do a boardroom conversation here. I just want to make sure that you leverage this opportunity to get a sense of how shall you take technology, innovation, entrepreneurship forward and shape your future, right? So just for your information, when we talk about left hand side of our brain, it's more of analytics, more of analysis, more of intellect. When we talk about right hand side of our brain, it is more of emotions, creativity, right? So let's ignite both the part to have this journey. And when we look at the theme, we look at leadership as one of the key components, right? So, what do you mean by leadership? May I ask any one of you to give your view in terms of how do you see a leader? What is the mean of leadership for you? Is it something who is simply making decision? Is it somebody who is simply giving you instruction? Okay. So just for your information, leadership is always a journey, right? You start somewhere as a beginner. You may primarily contribute towards simply executing things where somebody is telling you what to do. And then you build your competency, expertise, you build your thought leadership. You move upward in the journey. You may still not know the bigger picture, but the moment you achieve leadership, you know the bigger picture, you know the vision, you know the strategy, and that's how you can take an idea from inception to production. When we talk about entrepreneurship, it is very important to look at the ideation phase and how can you take that idea to production, right? Uh, how many unicorns we see every year? Any number, random number? You can count, right? But how many startups every year? Thousands of startups. What is the core difference? The core difference is how you strategize, how you scan the horizon, how you analyze your idea, how you validate your idea before you simply go into execution, right? Uh, when we talk about innovation, I think the innovation cycle has reduced drastically. Let's go back to 90s. Can you please name two key innovation in 90s? Yes, internet being one. Thank you. And the mobile phone was another one. Yeah. When we come into year 2000, have you ever heard Y2K problem? No?
We were born after that.
Okay. So after year 2000, we have seen cloud as another milestone, right? We have looked at another transformation where you started processing big data and started to use data and insight for decision making. And this is how it is moving. But now, when we look at the way technology and innovation is moving, the pace is every month you will have another innovation. So you, as people who are just coming out from your academics, need to be really on your toes to make sure that you scan the horizon efficiently. You identify the relevant technology trends which are going in the industry. All trends go through a hype cycle, right? So it go to the inflation of expectation, then there are correction, and then it reaches to plateau of satisfaction. So that maturity also something which you need to look at when you are acting like an entrepreneur, where you want to define an idea and take it to production. Great. So in context of quantum, I thought of simply covering the fundamental concepts, what kind of opportunity it brings, right? What are the potential risks, so that we understand it, and then we can leverage it in terms of readiness for our future. And even if you want to do some kind of entrepreneurship, you know what kind of idea would be relevant in terms of quantum computing. So I'll try to make it little interactive. So far, I've failed. I should accept that. But guys, can you be little more participative? You know, there is a fundamental rule of any presentation. You should have only two mandatory pages. One the first page and the last one. And the remaining ones are dependent on your stakeholders. Know your audience. If you're not participative, this is going to be the first page, and I have thank you page for sure. All right. So can you tell me your favorite sci-fi movie? I'm sure you must be having a lot of names. Any favorite scene?
Today, please speak out sci-fi news movie. I think each one of you have your own interest. You can just stand up and answer that. Anyone?
Select one out of four. Life is more easier.
Pretty, pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And what did you like the most about it? Yeah, yeah. All right. Good, good. Did you ever felt that there is something which is not normal, which is very weird, which you don't see in classical physics? So we all know that in classical physics, when we talk about anything, it is based on localism and realism, right? So all those theories are based on something which is local and something which is real, where you have specific outcomes, where you know the specific status of anything which is moving around. But the moment we go into sci-fi fiction, any kind of such movies, we see lot of ideas which are imagination, but somewhere they are relating to the innovation which is happening in the background. Did you experience some scenes where time travel was happening or teleporting Yeah. Okay. So this is something where you can see that, in some context, you were leveraging the concept of quantum physics. You can't do teleporting of humans for sure, but then you can teleport information. Yeah. You have the concept of time travel, but then again it is based on the quantum physics. So let's look at the quantum world. When we look at the traditional computing, we all talk about bits, and we do have two states, 1 and 0. The moment we go into quantum computers, there is another concept called qubits, right? So qubits are the fundamental unit of your quantum computers. When you look at the concept of qubits, you don't have a definite state of 1 and 0 there. You can have an intermediate state as well, right? So that's the core difference, and that is your quantum state. Once you observe the qubit, then only you get the final status. Once you observe the qubit, that becomes your outcome. Okay. Why we need quantum? That's very fundamental question. So there were lot of industry use cases. There were a lot of industry use cases where you had the problem where you wanted to process lot of data, lot of scenarios to make decisions. For example, if you have an optimization problem, you have to optimize the supply chain, right? So if you have to optimize the supply chain, you may go through billions of scenarios, and you need to make a decision what is going to be the best choice for your supply chain. Those kind of computation currently happening on high performance computing, uh, mostly in batch, but then there is an opportunity to do it in real time as well, right? The moment you do it in real time, you empower your frontline worker to make the right decision and do lot more efficient supply chain and other processing. We'll quickly play one video which will give you some insight around qubit. The idea is just to get your attention, and we'll have three questions after this video. So please be a little attentive. Thank you.
The bit is the most basic unit of information in classical computing and classical information. In quantum computation and quantum information, a quantum bit or qubit plays a similar role. In this video, we will see what the qubit actually means and compare its properties to those of classical bits. We're going to describe qubits as mathematical objects with certain specific properties. It is true that qubits, like bits, are realized as actual physical systems. The beauty of treating qubits as abstract entities allows scientists to construct a general theory of quantum computation and quantum information independent of any particular physical system. What is then a qubit? Just as a classical bit has a state, either 0 or 1, a qubit also has a state. Two possible states for a qubit are the states ket 0 and ket 1, which are similar to the states 0 and 1 of a classical bit. This weird notation is called the Dirac notation and is a standard notation for representing a state in quantum mechanics. The difference between bits and qubits is that, unlike bits, qubits can be in a state other than ket 0 or ket 1. It is perfectly legal to have a linear combination of these two states. This phenomenon is called quantum superposition. The numbers alpha and beta are in general complex numbers. The special states ket 0 and ket 1 are known as computational basis states and form an orthonormal basis for this vector space. Let's now explore the fundamental difference between a bit and a qubit. It is always possible to examine a bit to determine if it is in state 0 or 1. For example, computers do this all the time when they retrieve the contents of their memory. Rather remarkably, it is not possible to examine a qubit to determine its quantum state. For learning the quantum state of a qubit, we need to learn the values of alpha and beta. However, quantum mechanics tell us that we can only acquire much more restricted information about the quantum state. When we measure a qubit, we get either the result ket 0 with probability alpha squared, or the result ket 1 with probability beta squared. So, from a single measurement, we will not be able to learn the values of both alpha and beta. Thus, in general, a qubit state is a unit vector in a two-dimensional complex vector space, and measurement collapses it into one of the bases. Qubit's ability to be in superposition states runs counter to our common sense. A classical bit is like a coin, either heads or tails up. By contrast, a qubit can exist in a continuum of states between ket 0 and ket 1 until it is observed. Let us emphasize again that when a qubit is measured, it only ever gives 0 or 1 as the measurement result, probabilistically. For example, a qubit can be in the state which, when measured, gives the result 0 50% of the time, and the result 1 50% of the time. This state, which is in an equal superposition of ket 0 and ket 1, is quite an important quantum state, and is sometimes denoted by ket plus. Although qubits seem strange, they are in fact real. Experiments extensively validate their existence and behavior, and they can be realized using a wide range of physical systems. In order to get a sense of how a qubit can be realized, let's see some of the ways it can occur. As the two different polarizations of a photon, as the alignment of a nuclear spin in a uniform magnetic field, as two states of an electron orbiting a single atom. In the atom model, the electron can exist in either the so-called ground or excited states, which we'll refer to as ket 0 and ket 1 respectively. By shining light on the atom with appropriate energy and for an appropriate length of time, it is possible to move the electron from the ket 0 state to the ket 1 state and vice versa. But more interestingly, by reducing the time we shine the light, an electron initially in the state of ket 0 can be moved halfway between ket 0 and ket 1 into the ket plus state. Historically, a great deal of attention has been given to the meaning or interpretation that might be attached to superposition states, and to the inherently probabilistic nature of observations on quantum systems. However, for almost all practical purposes related to quantum information processing, it is not necessary to concern with such discussions. How much information is represented by a qubit? Paradoxically, we can do infinite binary expansion of values alpha and beta, so in principle, it could store infinite information. However, this conclusion turns out to be misleading because of the behavior of a qubit when observed. Recall that measurement of a qubit will give only either 0 or 1. Furthermore, measurement changes the state of a qubit, collapsing it from its superposition of ket 0 and ket 1 to the specific state consistent with the measurement result. For example, if the measurement of ket plus gives 0, then the state of the qubit after measurement will be ket 0. Why does this type of collapse occur? Nobody knows. Until now, we simply accept it as a law of nature and include it as one of the fundamental postulates of quantum mechanics. What is relevant for our purposes is that from a single measurement, one obtains only a single bit of information about the state of the qubit, thus resolving the apparent paradox. Nevertheless, there is something conceptually important going on here. When nature performs an operation on a closed quantum system of qubits without performing any measurement, she does keep track of all the infinite parameters of alpha and beta, even though that information is hidden from us. Nature conceals a great deal of hidden information, and even more interestingly, the potential amount of this extra information grows exponentially with the number of qubits. Understanding this hidden quantum information lies at the heart of what makes quantum mechanics a powerful tool for information processing and the future of computation. The bit is the most basic unit of information in classical computing.
Thank you. So, three core messages here. You look at the difference between traditional bits and qubits. One, you don't have simply 1 and 0. You can have superposition where the status of qubit can be between 1 and 0. When you observe the qubit, then only you get the final status, right? That's being one. Two, you might have seen that when you observe a particular qubit, one of the state get collapsed, right? So there is no explanation to it, and that's where there were lot of delay in terms of accepting quantum as the core subject and having a lot of research on top of it. If you remember historically, Bell theorem came way back in the past, but then there were the kind of scientists who never accepted it, and they denied the concept of superposition and entanglement in past. But in recent time, there were certain scientists who did some experiment to prove that the Bell inequality is there, and you have entanglement is something which is real. So when we talk about superposition, we have seen that you can have your qubit in cat 1 or cat 0, right? When you observe it, you will have a final status, and you will have either uh, with the the alpha square probability or the beta square probability. Similarly, there were experiments around superposition. So there were scientists who wanted to prove that such kind of concept does exist. So there were a lot of experiments which were being done in terms of, if you put a cat inside a box with some radium radiological decay which can decay in the box, and then you have a sensor and a clock and a hammer which hit on the poison. What is the outcome? So until unless you open the box, you don't know what is happening inside. So that was the kind of experiment which had happened in past in terms of bringing the concept of superposition to life. Entanglement is something where you can have two particles entangled. They can be at very far distance, but the moment you know one, you can correlate the another one, and that becomes the core element in terms of having all those fiction where you can have teleporting or you can have time travel. Essentially, it is more of the information which can travel much more faster. Uh, not essentially faster than light, but then you can have two objects which are far away. One can be on Earth, another can be on Mars. If they are entangled, if you know the status of one particle, you will be able to know the status of another particle. So that is also a core element in terms of how the quantum is working, and that is something which is helping in terms of building new technologies and innovation around cybersecurity, around the faster way of communicating. This is something which is the recent Nobel Prize in the physics. Again, it was more on the quantum entanglement. So they have proved with the experiments that you can entangle two particles, and then you can observe their status. If you know the status of one particle, you can easily find out the status of another particle. Now let's look at, in that video we have seen that you can have multiple intermediate steps of your qubit. How does it help in terms of data processing, right? So when you observe, essentially you get only one outcome. So if you have two qubits, when you observe them, you will have two outcomes. But how it helps? So when we look at the processing, you don't always need the end outcome. You do lot of computation in between, right? So you, in your processing, you may have lot of hidden states, which can be represented by this intermediate quantum state, and that helps in terms of doing the complex computation with the less number of qubits. So when you look at the traditional, is it readable? So if you look at 2 qubits, it can help you to do the similar kind of computation which you can achieve with 512 bits. If you look at 3 qubits, it helps you doing the similar kind of computation which you usually do with 1024 bits. And this is exponential. The moment you go to 100 qubits, I mean, you have leveraged all possible number of bits in terms of processing your data or any other information. So see, that's the beauty. The moment you go into qubits, you have infinite possibility of doing the intermediate processing of your data. And that's where, when we talk about the problem of optimization, you have a lot of scenarios, lot of potential options which need to be explored. And that's where the intermediate state helps, the hidden state helps. Because at the end, you need to find only one answer, right? So you'll have thousands of data point to analyze, simulate, and then bring the one best choice out of it. When we look at the quantum algorithms, they are still limited number of quantum algorithm which are available, but there are few popular ones which all of you should be aware about. Shor's algorithm, this is something which is how can you do factorial much more faster. There is one Grover algorithm which is more around efficient search. So this is something which can help you to have lot more faster search. Uh, when you look at enterprise, you will have plenty of information scattered all across your enterprise landscape, and the way you can efficiently find the relevant information is going to make you much more efficient operationally, as well as it helps you in terms of finding the right insight at the right time. You have Cubo algorithms which help you do more optimization, and then quantum is also relevant in context of AI/ML. So I know many of you might be aspiring to be an data scientist or an AI engineer, but look at the possibility. The moment you complement it with the quantum capabilities, you will have much more faster outcomes. You will have lot of higher efficiency. We have seen in our experiments that when you do AIML using quantum inspired algorithms, the level of accuracy is much more higher. Even the typical problem in the AML landscape is you have struggle in terms of finding the right set of data. So these kind of algorithm are efficient even with the limited number of data, because they can observe pattern much more efficient. So this is a classical example. If you have your classical ML with your features, when you want to do a quantum enabled AIML, you need to bring it to quantum kernel, which is more of taking this vector space into Hilbert space, and then once you are done with your processing, you bring it back to your normal classical ML landscape. When we look at quantum, as of now, there are two themes. One is more of digital and another one is analog. When we look at the digital quantum computers which are available, there are one type of qubits which are material based. The another one is more of photonic. So these are the two variant which you can see in the digital quantum options which are available today. There are few in the analog systems as well, but then they have different technology. So when we look at holistically the current landscape of quantum, we can see the quantum being practiced on the classical computer as well. So you bring in the fundamental of quantum and try to have quantum inspired implementation of your classical computers that can help you in terms of designing your circuits, implementing quantum simulation on the classical computer. But then you can take it to more sophisticated quantum computers when it comes to productionizing it. So you can do the experiment, you can do the development on the classical computer, but then you simulate on the classical computer the quantum circuits to solve a specific problem. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so when we look at the landscape, so there will be classical computers where we do quantum inspired work. There are analog quantum computers. They primarily leveraging annealing and simulation, and then we have gate based. So when we look at the current challenges of any quantum solution, we do have a problem with the noise and the accuracy. So that is something which is still a challenge. The way research has progressed, we have moved to an extent where you can see easily more than 1000 bits computer being produced by big manufacturer. When we look at the risk of quantum, you see the current encryption which we have, right? So the kind of encryption which we use today, it can be easily broken the moment we have 4000 qubit quantum computer available. So that becomes a risk in terms of the moment quantum is going to be generally available, we'll have that risk of getting quantum ready. We'll have to make sure our infrastructure, our security are upgraded to the extent where we change the way data is being encrypted so that it cannot be decrypted easily by using quantum computing. We also see a lot of application in terms of, let's say in healthcare, you can do more efficient drug discovery, and it has helped a lot. You might have noticed that in pandemic, we have seen that the vaccines has started to come a lot more faster. The usual cycle of these vaccine is years. Any new drug which come to market takes at least 5 to 7 years before it land into the production. A lot of discovery phase which is happening currently, more of the in terms of simulation in the discovery phase, it gets a lot more efficient the moment you apply quantum computing to it. Yeah, so it's very exciting in terms of the kind of promises it has. I was speaking to one of the banking customer with their fraud analytics team, and currently they have challenges in terms of implementing real-time fraud analytics on transactions. So they do it later, but then once we have quantum generally available, there is a real possibility that you can integrate the complex fraud analytics rule the moment your transaction is happening in the real time, and that will help a lot in terms of saving a lot of financial crimes which is happening, and will bring financial operation to much more efficiency. With that, I'll conclude the conversation. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, sir, for imparting us with wisdom. Now we have Mr. Atul Bhargav. Mr. Atul Bhargav is a seasoned professional in the field of very large scale integration, that is VLSI design, with extensive experience in digital design, ASIC verification, and semiconductor technology. With a solid foundation in electronics and years of hands on experience in the semiconductor industry, he has contributed to several high performance chip designs and optimization projects. He is skilled in RTL coding, simulation, and verification methodology, with a focus on delivering efficient and scalable solutions. Passionate about innovation in electronics, he continues to stay at the forefront of cutting edge VLSI technology to drive impactful advancements. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thanks for the introduction, my friend, but it was too long. I think the people have gone back to sleep. So before Atul start his presentation, because one of our guests want to leave, Mr. Umang, so we would like to facilitate him. Just Atul, give us 2 minutes only. Huh? Thank you.
A huge round of applause for the sir. Now we have Mr. Atul sir.
It's okay. You already introduced me. So just before starting and while he was giving my introduction, I received a call. I don't know how many of you noticed that. Did anyone notice that I received a call? No, but anyone over here noticed? So it was call from the HR who confirmed that I can hire 2 people who are very, very active in this room during this presentation. So now, how many of you are feeling hungry? यार ये तो attentive की definition नहीं है. How many of you are feeling hungry? It's already 1 o'clock. We need a break. More than knowledge, we need a break. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you something which you have never heard. I'm pretty sure of that. It's a compilation of many things. So maybe the compilation is new. This one goes up. The next one. Okay, perfect. So the compilation might be new, but I'm
I'm pretty sure that if you Google, you can find all of it. So this is one of the biggest thing that has happened in the 90s, as sir was telling, that internet came into existence. So you can actually find out all that you want to find out. Anyone who wants to tell me what is this? You see a picture on the screen. What is this? Just raise your hand. You can speak out, or I can hand over the mic to you. What is this? What is this? Guess is also fine. बच्चों का खिलौना है शायद, with something inside. No? What is this? So you are not browsing internet enough? What is this? Ever heard the name Jack Kilby? कभी नाम सुना है? No, not you. No? Jack Kilby? Anyone? So this is the first, you can say, the kind of microchip. First microchip. Not yet. That's the third picture that you will see. Not this one. So this is the first JFET that was made by Jack Kilby. The important point is not that he made it in 1947. The main point is he made it when his manager was missing. The manager was on leave. So that's the first picture. Let's go to the next one. Oh, sorry. What is this? Easy? Everyone can tell. What is this?
Radio.
It's a radio transistor. Absolutely right. So what is so peculiar or unique about it? It came into existence in 1957. It's manufactured by Sony. What's so unique that it deserved a place on my slide? What's so special? Just speak loudly. If you want to give an answer, just speak loudly. It's okay. So people are raising their hand to scratch their head instead of giving an answer. That's strange. Yeah, go ahead. It's portable, yes. And how can it become portable? Because it is
Compact.
It's compact, portable, the same thing. It's light. It's light. It's very light. Before this, till 1956, if you needed to own a transistor, it was sitting on a desktop, which was almost 7 to 8 kgs, and you were trying to tune things. This is less than 300 grams. So this is how things evolved. Oh. It's super sensitive. Okay. What is this? First microchip. Done by whom? Jack Kilby ने पहले बना दिया यार JFET. This is something someone else has to do it. He's not going to invent everything for you. What is this? No, Fairchild is the next picture. No, again, this is an invention. This is the first fabricated IC, you can say. And again, this came into existence while the boss was away. The boss was not in the room. I mean, he was away for a summer holiday. Yes.
Are we seeing a pattern?
No, I want you to guess the pattern. I don't know the pattern. I'm just throwing up certain things. You have to guess the pattern. Okay, the boss was there, but this was how semiconductor industry came into picture. Any guesses which company made these two chips? Name the company. Intel, no.
Texas.
No. No, not TSMC. TSMC came into existence 30 years ago. This is 1967, 1960s. Infosys, wow. Any other guesses? Someone said, not Sun, not Sun. Microsystems, no. Ever heard of Fairchild? Ever heard of Fairchild? No? Okay. That's the company which made these two chips. Okay. Can anyone explain to me why is this picture very funny? Is it funny first of all? No? Oh, it's not funny. No, there is something very funny about this picture.
Sir, capacitors are actually known for storing the electrical or something information in this, and they are very large amount of this. But the SanDisk memory card shown is such a small, but it stores a large amount of money. That's why.
You are close, but not accurate, I would say. Very close, very well tried. Anyone else? It's funny. Let me put it like this.
Size of transistor had decreased exponentially.
Okay, but what's the fun about it? It's good. It's a good thing to happen. The funny part is what you see below is magnetic tape storage, and the amount of storage it can hold. The one that you see, the piece that you see, is 8 bytes. 8 bytes of data is stored in those many magnetic tapes. And what you see, the SanDisk card is how many GBs? 8 GBs. It is almost 1/6 the size of the magnetic tape that was needed to store 8 bytes of data. Now is it funny? A little bit. You understand what has happened? There is a big transformation that has happened in the last how many years? How many years? Roughly 5 decades, 5 or let's say 6 maximum. Okay. How many of you know what is Moore's law? What is Moore's law? Okay, how many engineers in the room? Ma'am, आपने ये home science वालों बैठा दिया यहाँ पे? How many engineers in the room? अरे यार, raise it a little higher. Breakfast तो किया था ना, lunch नहीं मिला तो क्या हुआ? Breakfast. आज breakfast भी नहीं मिला. Okay. How many electronics engineers? How many electronics engineers? Anyone who knows VLSI? What is VLSI? There are some. So VLSI, you know VLSI, but you are not an electronics engineer. Oh, CSE. Okay. So when Moore's law, any idea, anyone? इतनी देर में Google हो जाता, but okay.
Number of transistor doubles every year on a particular size.
Very close. I would say near to perfect answer. Every 18 months, the number of transistors on a chip doubles, or in the same area doubles. Perfect answer. Okay. But is that the Moore's law, or that's the only part of the Moore's law? So yes, I said that it has to reduce area. So the area is getting reduced by 2 every 18 months. What else?
The cost also remains low.
Cost is getting low. What else? The performance has to increase almost by 2x. The frequency has to increase almost by 2x. And the power has to reduce. Again, not really, but not in the same order. And if you look at the graph very carefully, we talk about Moore's law being dead in the last decade, but it was long dead because in close to 2004, most of these parameters were not getting scaled. Yes, we were able to shrink the chips further, but we were not able to increase the area. Increase the frequency. We were not able to increase the performance of the chip. So, most of you are very young. Which is the processor, that CPU that you are using these days in your laptops or your PCs? AMD, Intel, and what frequency does it work at?
5.4, I guess.
5.4 gigahertz. Gigahertz, megahertz, kilohertz? Gigahertz. 5.4 gigahertz. यार अभी तक बना नहीं है कोई microprocessor, but okay, fine. But if you look at it, the frequency at which these microprocessors were running in 1990s and what it is running now has not increased by more than 10 or maybe maximum 15%. So that scaling is not happening. So how do we scale in that case? So the way that we are trying to scale is add more cores. Have you heard that this processor has more cores, more GPUs? You are talking about that. So this is how we are trying to get the scaling still into effect. So again, sorry, I missed the title of my talk. It was the future of semiconductor. So the future is that instead of actually increasing these parameters, which I mentioned on the left, we are trying to actually add more cores. And again, I will show something more spectacular or more fancy in the coming slides. Everyone is with me till here, in spite of not being from electronics background? Everyone is with me? Okay. I'm not so sure if this will attract a lot of people. How many of you know CMOS a little bit? You know CMOS? A little bit? Which year are you in?
Third year. No, sir, computer science.
Oh my God, computer science. No, nobody from electronics? Seriously? Nobody from electronics, or are you shy? Nobody from electronics? Okay. Okay, so CMOS generally has three, you can say, terminals: source, drain, and gate. And the first picture that you see is how a CMOS is implemented. And since there was no scaling, we moved from planar to FinFET, where actually the entire MOS is, instead of being horizontal, it's vertical in nature. And then we are looking at the future, which is gate all around. So again, I'll not go into details because you are lacking some basics over there. No problems. Okay. Again, it's too sensitive. So anyone has any guesses? What are the three chips that you are looking at? What are they called? I don't need the name of the product.
Motherboard, sir.
Motherboard. Anyone else? So, what is the biggest size of a chip that you have seen? Have you guys seen a chip ever? Yes. Okay. What is a typical size? Few centimeter squares, couple of centimeter square. So what you see over here is not just a few centimeter. Sorry. What did I do? I pressed the wrong button. That's technology for you. So these are not few centimeters or inches. Yeah, itna hi. That's okay. But these are much more than that. They can be tens of centimeter squares. So what exactly is happening in terms of the new technology is that we are trying to even do heterogeneous integration. What does heterogeneous integration mean? You have two chips and you connect them one on top of the other. So you can't put more compute power into one chip. So what do? You make a stack of the chips. Clear? Sandwiches kisko pasand hai? So currently we are talking about 2 layers of sandwich, but we can go to 3 layers, 4 layers, and so on. You can just imagine that you can actually add a lot of compute power into the same area, not the same volume, but the same area. So this is, I would say, what is the future of semiconductor. And again, I have just tried to outline. Again, I'm talking about 5G. Someone already talked about 6G over here, maybe 7G as well coming in. But these are the different, you can say, avenues or the industries for which semiconductor is the base. So if you don't have semiconductor and you are a very good software engineer, sorry guys, you can't do much. Again, it's a complete chain. If an electronics engineer doesn't have the software engineers, we can't do anything as well. So it's a cycle. So the hardware is where the software runs, and using that software, we build more advanced hardware. Okay? Clear? Any questions till now? Who said that? I can hear that, but okay. So you are not tired. Okay. One more slide. I'll not go into the details. So again, I don't know if this makes a lot of sense to you, but in every car, or maybe this can be a question. In every car, do you know how many sensors do we have, roughly? Give me a number. Any random number will do. 8. Number? Thousands. So in the latest Audi, there are close to 1600. So you're pretty close. So those are the number of sensors. Now these sensors are capturing data and you need to process the data. So earlier what was happening was we were trying to process this data in different clusters. Now in the new cars, what is happening is it is getting, all the data is centrally being managed by one microcontroller. So this is the advancement that is happening, and this is the kind of cars you will see in the coming days. And this is not the future like coming in 20 years. This is going to start happening next year. 2025, you will have the cars which are more compute intensive, having a central microcontroller. Just in case you are interested in looking at what kind of jobs are available in the semiconductor industry, I created this chart, but even though I have the approval from the HR to hire 2 people, I don't see that many people are interested. So I'll skip this one and maybe skip the next one as well. Ma'am from CDAC is here, and she talked about the different initiatives that the government of India is taking. So there are few that I have mentioned again over here, the newspaper cuttings. What is important, and maybe it's difficult to read, is in order to sustain this kind of a system mechanism, we will need 85,000 jobs. We have 85,000, need of 85,000 new engineers. And I don't know how many are available. Perhaps none in this room. So maybe you need to buck up and gear yourself and be prepared if you want one of these 85,000 jobs, which is a big number. That's all from my side. I'll not go into the details of the summary, but I hope I made my message clear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Atul sir. Now I would like to take this opportunity to invite Mr. Rahul Jain to the podium. Rahul Jain is the founder and managing director of Matrix Geo Solutions. He specializes in aerial and mobile LiDAR, photogrammetry, GIS, remote sensing, and the list goes on. So please put a round of applause for him.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks to Atulji. I think we had gone already half of the battle, but I think everybody is a little attentive. But let's say Jai Hind, Jai Hind, Jai Hind. अब लग रहा है कि कुछ लोग जगे हुए हैं, अभी भी कुछ लोग सोए हुए लग रहे हैं. लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. सो ये बताइए कि ड्रोन कितने लोगों को अच्छा लगता है, कितने लोगों ने देखा है, कितने लोगों ने उसको चलाया है? एक हाथ उठाए. दैट्स इट. 2 or 3 maximum. So how drone is actually fascinating you guys, is it? You guys are from the computer science, electronics, mechanical, maybe from civil. So you know there is a concept coming up of collaborating each and everything. As we were talking about satellite system in 6G. Okay, so in 6G when we had worked for 4G, geospatial and other things are the drones, satellites, and geospatial industry is changing the world at the moment. So here we are going to talk about the same thing, but I've been given only 20 minutes of maybe maximum to maximum 30 minutes. I'll try my level best to just to give you a brief about the technology, what is technology is all about, number one. Secondly, how you can build your career into that. Let me tell you frankly, how my HR director is in the front row. So all are listening. We are trying to hire almost 10 people, and we have wonderful opportunity of more than 20 people for the internship in whosoever is there in their final semesters. Okay, so listen to me very attentively, and if you have questions, I would be very happy to answer those things. So we'll talk about little on the drone side and some of regarding the geospatials. So how it is redefining or it has been working into large infrastructures, and this is what our leader says that everywhere now it is mandatory to utilize the geospatial and drone technologies in several ministries. I will also tell you that what kind of adoption is there. So this is the nationwide guidelines for the geospatial industry. Okay, so I'll not go into detail because these are so much of them, and you can actually take it from the desk here. So we are Matrix Geo Solution. We are doing a lot of work related to digital mapping and geospatial consultancy. I'll just pass it through. This is what we do. So we do modern survey technology, we do geospatial consultancy, and we do engineering consultancy as well. When you talk about geospatial, then engineering automatically will come. And the software development. When you develop something, you design something, you need to showcase it. We talked about cloud. So we need to put everything on the cloud. The software engineer would require to make different type of applications and put it on the web-based solutions, and maybe some mathematics would be required, physics would be required. There are so many things would be required. Right now, you need to become good engineers rather than academicians, because if you wanted to grow your career, you must need to learn how to applicate your science into the application. Otherwise, it would be your total waste. Okay, and that is the problem which we are facing with the new people who are coming from the direct colleges. So this is the relevance of the technology, that how it can be, and that is the same with ourselves. We work in greenfield areas to brownfield and brownfield to the existing infrastructures. So drone and geospatial can be utilized directly over there during the planning, during the construction, during the for monitoring or inspecting or any type of asset monitoring is required, then we can do it with the help of existing infrastructure. So these are the sectors we work. We work with the railways, we work with roads and highways, mining, water, agriculture, urban, rural, and energy and utilities. So how this drone can be utilized into those sectors, we'll go into detail a little bit. I'll try to finish within 30 minutes, of course. So the different type of sensors are there. These are the different products that we have developed. LiDAR is a sensor, light detection and ranging. May I have your attention, please? Please. This can change your life probably. So a drone with the DGPS and PPK technology, satellite imageries we talked about. There are not only one type of satellite imagery, but there are several type of satellite imageries are available that can really help in mapping and meteorology as well as in communication and all that. Okay, and then you can develop different type of web-based applications. So this is the project experience what we had, and you can see that in some of the project which I am going to tell you it that we have been involved into bullet train project, which is Mumbai Ahmedabad. So the first thing, the satellite-based technology has been utilized into bullet train for figuring out the feasibility of that particular system. Not only that, it has also been utilized into Hyperloop. You know the Hyperloop? How much people do you know the bullet train project is going on in India? High speed railways is going on, semi high speed railways is going on, okay, Hyperloop is going on, okay. There are several metro trains you see across India right now. So we've been involved into all those type of projects by utilizing the drones as well as the satellite. With the help of those things, you can do a lot of things. This initial planning, and then after during the construction, the monitoring is required. Previously, they used to take hell lot of time to get the things done. But what the technology actually came in, and it changed the whole world. Okay, and we can also utilize it for the different other projects. You know the ropeway projects. How much ropeways are there? Have you ever been to ropeways? Sometime? Anybody who has experienced in ropeways? कोई रोपवे में बैठा है आज तक किसी ट्रॉली पे? कितने लोग बैठे हैं? तो बहुत लोग बैठे हैं यार. तो किसी को पता है वो कैसे बनाई जाती है, कितने टफ टेरेन में? वो उसको बनाने के लिए पहले उसका सर्वे किया जाता है, एंड देन यू हैव टू डू द सर्वे. जो सर्वे किया जाता है, एक फॉर एग्जांपल मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं, दैट वी हैव बीन वर्किंग इन हेमकुंड साहिब. द स्टार्टिंग वाज 1100 meters and it went up to 5600 meters with a very narrow passages, and there was no way to go, and that was the time of November when a lot of snow was there. So we were building up the survey, number one, and then secondly is the planning and designing of the ropeway system out there. So ropeway is a large infrastructure. Now if somebody will go there, then he can go or she can go very easily on the ropeways. And that is the same thing which we have done in the Kedarnath as well. So now the Kedarnath project has already been shooted up. It's going on at the moment. Probably in a couple of years, you will be traveling by the ropeways. Okay. And we will be surprised to know that there are a lot of projects where we had utilized the same thing into tunneling. I know that, Katra Banihal, एक दिल्ली से कटरा, कटरा से श्रीनगर, किसी को पता है? ये रूट बहुत सिंपल है, ठीक है. आज तक जितने भी लोग जाते थे, ये तो या तो बाई रोड जाते थे श्रीनगर तक, या बाई फ्लाइट जाते थे, करेक्ट. अब आप लोग थोड़े दिन में ही बाई ट्रेन भी जा सकेंगे. नॉर्थ ईस्ट हैज ऑलरेडी बीन कनेक्टेड. लेह तक आप ज्यादातर फ्लाइट से जाते थे, अब ट्रेन भी चलने वाली है. So all these studies are going on by utilizing the satellite-based system as well as with the help of drones. Bilaspur, Manali, Leh, there is a huge project which we have done earlier, which was covering near about 5,400 square kilometers that we have done. Why I'm telling you all these things is, maybe it will fascinate you to grow your career into the drone and geospatial technologies, though you are any of engineer. I myself is a electrical engineer, okay, but never did work in electrical field. So this is a little bit about our project initiative which we have done earlier, okay. So we have been involved into almost all bullet train project as well as ropeway project and high speed and semi high speed railways projects. We were trying to minimize the distance from Delhi to Agra in just 1 hour, and but land was very costly, so we could not do it, but we did try on that. We made these studies on this, okay. So LiDAR, I'll not talk a little bit about more on the technology part, the LiDAR and different geospatial technologies. So So I'll talk about a little bit about how you can bring your career in geospatial as well as in drone-based things. So Drone Academy of India is basically a DGCA certified RPTO, which gives you training for drone piloting as well as geospatial training afterwards. So whosoever is interested, then they can do it. So we just launched it. So this is something which I wanted to show you, that we work in UAV engineering, that you can start utilizing how to build a drone, how to do the maintenance, what is aerodynamics, and how the aero engineering can help you. And then after drone insight, how you can do the drone data processing later on and data analytics, or maybe cloud-based computing on that. Okay, so I just wanted to run through a small video so that you would be able to see the business, what our visionary says and how this drone can be build your career. Sorry.
देश में कुछ बदल रहा है। आज ड्रोन तकनीक ने देश के युवाओं के लिए करियर और व्यवसाय करने के नए माध्यमों को खोल दिया है। समीर एक इंजीनियर है जो ड्रोन निर्माण को अपना करियर चुनता है। वीरेश एक प्रशिक्षित ड्रोन पायलट है जो ड्रोन का उपयोग करके सड़क और रेलवे परियोजनाओं का मॉनिटरिंग करता है। वंदना एक जियोग्राफर ड्रोन द्वारा ली गई छवियों से मानचित्र बनाती हैं और प्लानिंग का काम करती हैं। सतनाम एडवांस ड्रोन से स्वामित्व परियोजना के लिए खेती की जमीनों की मैपिंग करता है। और नमो दीदी योजना के बारे में आपने सुना ही होगा, जिसमें गांव की महिलाएं ड्रोन को व्यवसाय के रूप में अपनाकर अपनी जिंदगी को बदल रही हैं। 2021 में सरकार के ड्रोन तकनीक को अपनाने के बाद से ड्रोन के निर्माण, ड्रोन के उड़ान और ड्रोन के उपयोग के लिए अनेक संभावनाएं खुल गई हैं।
ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी को लेकर भारत में जो उत्साह देखने को मिल रहा है वो अद्भुत है। ये जो ऊर्जा नजर आ रही है वो भारत में ड्रोन सर्विस और ड्रोन आधारित इंडस्ट्री की लंबी छलांग का प्रतिबिंब है। ये भारत में एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन के एक उभरते हुए बड़े सेक्टर की संभावनाएं दिखाती है। आज भारत स्टार्टअप पावर के दम पर दुनिया में ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी का सबसे बड़ा एक्सपर्ट बनने की ओर तेज गति से आगे बढ़ रहा है।
आज विभिन्न सरकारी विभाग जैसे कि रेलवे, जल संसाधन, सड़क, शहरी योजना, ग्रामीण विकास, वन्य जीवन और खनन विभाग प्रोजेक्ट योजना, निर्माण कार्य, मॉनिटरिंग और मैपिंग का काम करने के लिए ड्रोन का उपयोग करते हैं। 2024 तक 10,000 से अधिक युवाओं ने ड्रोन तकनीक को सफल करियर की तरह अपनाया है। यह अपेक्षित है कि आगामी 3 से 5 वर्षों में ड्रोन सेवा उद्योग संभवतः 5 लाख नौकरियां प्रदान करेगा। आइए अपने करियर को दीजिए नई उड़ान, ड्रोन अकेडमी ऑफ इंडिया।
So what you have seen is, it's just a glimpse of it, that drone is having enormous capabilities and possibilities. You can utilize the different type of drones in different sector. It's not going to be only just flying, but manufacturing, related services, software development, and lot of hardware systems available into that. So those things can create your career. So let's talk a little bit about the modern survey technologies and its advantages. So can you see there are so many pictures out here? What are modern survey technologies? The survey can be done earlier. The survey was used to be done by foot-to-foot surveys, by going on the field and doing that. Once the satellite systems came into the picture way back in 1960s, then we started doing the surveys by utilizing that, but the resolution was not that good. Then we start doing the surveys by using the helicopters and all that. You will be surprised to know कितने लोगों को बामियान पता है, बामियान बुद्धा स्टैचू पता है, कितने लोगों को पता है? बर्लिन कितने लोगों को पता है? बर्लिन सभी को पता है? सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर में उसका क्या हुआ था? इट वॉज कंप्लीटली वैनिस्ड ऑफ. यू नो दिस थिंग? Photogrammetry was the technique by which they could able to stand the same parameters, the same structures again. Okay, we just completed a project, Statue of Unity, which is one of the highest across the world. Okay, we made a 3D model of it, complete 3D model with 2 centimeter of accuracy. कितने लोगों ने प्रोजेक्शन मैपिंग देखी है? प्रोजेक्शन मैपिंग पता है क्या होती है? आप लोगों ने कभी लेजर शोज देखे? अक्षरधाम में एक लेजर शो होता है, कितने लोगों ने देखा है वो? बहुत कम लोगों ने देखा है. प्लीज गो एंड सी. ठीक है, उसके अंदर एक बिल्डिंग के ऊपर एक लेजर को प्रोजेक्ट किया जाता है, लेकिन बिजली का मेजरमेंट कितना जरूरी है उस लेजर शो के लिए आपको पता है? दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रोजेक्शन मैपिंग. वी डिड इट इन 2013. okay, so for that you need a detailed perfect model, 3D model. डिजिटल ट्विन मॉडल की हम बात कर रहे हैं. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले उमंग जी ने एक बात बोली कि 4D डेटा चाहिए हमें. 4D डेटा, 4D मतलब 3 डायमेंशनल डेटा ही नहीं है हमारे पास अभी. अभी आप गूगल मैप देख के खुश हो रहे हैं, करेक्ट? थोड़े दिन में क्या होगा कि आपके पास टेरेन की इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ में 4D डेटा आएगा. 4D डेटा इज समथिंग विच यू कैन एक्चुअली बिल्ड अपॉन, जिसके ऊपर आप कोई भी डिसीजन ले सकेंगे. So those things would be required, and those data we prepared that kind of data. We prepared 3D dimensional data for the cities as well as for the roads, highways, railways, and all that. So those things can be done by the help of satellite up to a certain resolution, and then after with the help of aircraft system. In India, it is very difficult to fly an aircraft. It takes a lot of time to get the permission, but drone is something which is changing the world at the moment. As soon as the battery system will improve, the drone can actually fly up to hours. There is a new concept. We talked about a 2000 meter satellite system. The satellite which are actually been working at the height of 2000 meters. Those satellites are called HAPS. Those are nothing but the drones. They've been running around. You know the missiles. The missiles is nothing but the target drones. The defense drones are there. You know kamikaze drones? They are suicide bombing drones. There are a lot of potential is there in this subject. You have seen in IIT Delhi there is a company called Boat Labs. What those people are doing? They people are doing swarm drones. Swarm drone is going to be something which is going to change the whole world right now. They can be utilized not only for the light shows, but they can also be utilized for defense system. So right now everybody is talking about the indigenous drone system or indigenous machinery development in India. So we hope that you people should come forward, your university should come forward to partnering with the industry and doing something which is really, really practical and usable. Okay, so that is what we are looking forward as a part of our industry. So that is the reason why I want you to let you know that what actually is required from the industry. Do you understand this? So these are some of the technologies where we work in. And I'll not go into details that because it's very difficult to understand in just 2 minutes. So LAMPS is something low altitude aerial monitoring and mapping system which we have developed in 2015. So this is basically a drone based system. Drone are two types, drone are several types. I'll just showcase you. One is, you must have seen the quadcopters, hexacopters. Have you seen the different type of aircraft, fixed wing planes? Have you seen fixed wing planes? Okay. So, and right now there's a concept called hybrid fixed wing. So that goes like this. Tejas, Tejas is an aircraft which has been indigenously developed by India. Now it is, the new version is coming up that has a capability of vertical takeoff and landing. Okay. So these are some of the typical types of drones availability in the world. type of drones, categories of drones, and accordingly there are certain things for which you can take the licenses. From Drone Academy of India, we give 10 years of license to fly. Okay, so without that you cannot fly. So this is something which is interesting to understand, that how the drone goes and do the mapping. The drone generally goes into the subject area, and then you make a flight plan like this and take the overlapping photographs. Okay, and then those photographs are basically nothing but the actual geography, and then with the help of geography you develop the 3D models and do all type of different calculations like volumetric calculations, profile lines, contouring, and all that. So here you can see the 3D model of it. Most of the guys are here from the background of computer science. Is that so? Okay. So you can develop the program by calculate how to calculate and consume the data from the drones, which we have developed as well. But there's a huge scope at the moment, and right now everybody is talking about AI, ML. It's a big buzzwords, but I don't like them, because you need to understand the user need to develop something. Okay, so there are so many things are required to train the different stuff. If I wanted to do the kind of image based or video based solution for the bridge inspections, which is a need of ours, we have almost 1,20,000 plus bridges across India. We have more than 3 to 5,000 dams in across India. There are a lot of infrastructure is there. Every day it is deteriorating. We need to inspect those things. You cannot only just construct something, but you need to monitor and then repair it as well. So for that, drone is something, AI ML is something which can create miracles. Okay, so you need to think in that direction, how you can do the training of systems by which you can do the image recognition and all that. There's a huge subject availability. You can estimate how much roads we have. कितनी roads हैं हमारे पास इंडिया में, रूरल हाईवेज एंड ऑल दैट, बहुत सारी है. ठीक है, सब में गड्ढे हो जाते हैं ना, पॉट होल्स होते हैं ना. उन पॉट होल्स को फिगर आउट करने के लिए उसको सही तरीके से फिगर आउट करके कितना साइज है, कितना गहरा है, कितना इसमें खर्चा आएगा. So everything is required by the authorities, regulators and all that. Even with the consumers always feel like यार कैसी रोड बना दी है, टैक्स ले लेते हैं हमसे. होता है ना ऐसा कि कैसी रोड पे जा रहे हैं हम. आपको आज बिजली मिलती है, बिजली बनाने के लिए हाइड्रो पावर प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं. We just completed 4 hydropower projects. You know that there is a concept going on, PSP, pumped storage systems. That means यहाँ पे पानी है, यहाँ पे पानी नहीं है. यहाँ पानी भरेंगे पहले ऊपर, फिर नीचे आएगा. पीक आवर्स में उसको यूटिलाइज करेंगे. We are working on the Jaisalmer project at the moment, which is close to around 4,000 square kilometer from Adani. Okay, at the Pakistan border, the area which is hardly of any use can be utilized for the solar parks and hydro generation parks. And the survey used to be done by the help of drones, of course. So we are using that. We are working in Tripura, where we have near about 98 check dams schemes where you can utilize it for the small irrigation schemes. And that can directly be utilized for the irrigation, not only for the irrigation, but creating 2 megawatts, small megawatts power projects. So that can also generate the energy. What we are doing, we are trying to make India sustainable. Okay, so please do something which can actually give you joy. Whenever I go to Jojila Pass, I feel like that, यार ये मैंने बनाया था, इसका काम मैंने किया है. जिस दिन मैं बुलेट ट्रेन में जाऊंगा, I will be very happy that I will see that this particular thing, the first study was done by me. I don't know when Hyperloop will come to India, but जब भी वो आएगा, मुझे खुशी होगी. The same way you should feel like you need to connect with the country. Okay, so technology is something, the photogrammetry. भगवान ने सबको दो आंखें दी हैं, yes or no? दी है ना? आपको 3D में दिखाई देता है? सबको 3D दिखता है? Can you all see in 3-dimensional view? Huh? The concept of perspective viewing, optics, was given by whom? Do you know this thing? Modern science के accordingly. कितने लोगों ने लियोनार्डो डी विंसी का नाम सुना है? सबने सुना है? और मोनालिसा का? Everybody, maybe. Okay. So just moving forward, he gave the concept of perspective viewing, and the same thing, the same concept we are utilizing for the photogrammetry. Photogrammetry is a Greek word. Photo means light, geometry means geometry, the measurements. So when you combine these two words, it becomes photogrammetry. The eyes, both of eyes, creates a three-dimensional view on our retina. If you close your one eye, you'd never ever see the three-dimensional view. And if you start looking at any angle, if you just put it like this and you see with both the eyes, the single finger will become two. Okay, this is the concept of parallax, and that is the where we start with photogrammetry. Okay, and LiDAR is light detection and ranging. There is a sensor on board as well that gives you, when it goes to somewhere, it go there and then return back, and it gives you XYZ values. So I think geospatial consultancy, there are so many subjects that what you can do measurements of each and everything. You can do several analysis, demographic as well as geographic, and you can play with the different type of data. In my context, what is the meaning of GIS? कितने लोग GIS समझते हैं? किसी ने पढ़ा है या कभी सुना है GIS? No one? No one knows about GIS. It's very, very, disappointing. Nobody knows about GIS. कितने लोग गूगल मैप यूज करते हैं नेविगेशन के लिए? तो भाई स्लीपी हो रहे तो बता दो, भूख लग रही है, समझ रहा हूं मैं. यही प्रॉब्लम है. यही प्रॉब्लम है. तो चलो मैं थोड़ा निपटाता हूं जल्दी जल्दी. ठीक है. तो मैं थोड़ा फास्ट लेके चलता हूं, बोलूंगा कम, देखना ज्यादा थोड़ा प्लीज. ठीक है, नहीं तो खाने में देर हो जाएगा आप लोगों को. सो व्हाई वी यूटिलाइज द ड्रोन्स? इट्स बेसिकली जो ट्रेडिशनल सर्वे करते थे उसको हमने रिमोट सेंसिंग सर्वे से चेंज कर दिया है. It would be faster, cost effective and all that. That can utilize for the different purposes as well. Monitoring, inspection and surveillance. You can do complete 3D modeling. You can do everything with this crowd monitoring. And why do we utilize? So this is something very, important for you guys, that what is the mandate of using the drones and geospatial into government sector. So this is directly mandate from the Indian Railways, MORTH, Ministry of Road Transport, okay, Survey of India. कितने लोगों ने ये बात सुनी है कि सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया इस टाइम पे स्वामित्व एक प्रोजेक्ट है जिसके अंदर जितने भी गांव के लोग हैं, जितनी भी उनकी जमीनें हैं, उनको परफेक्टली मैपिंग की जा रही है और उनको एक कार्ड दिया जा रहा है. एवरीबडी नोज अबाउट इट और नॉट? प्रॉब्ली नॉट. सब लोग अपने घर की रजिस्ट्री कराते हैं ना, रजिस्ट्री होती है ना उसकी, तो सेम उसका स्वामित्व का अधिकार या मालिकाना हक जो है उसी के अकॉर्डिंगली मिलता है आपको, कि रजिस्ट्री है तो भाई मेरे पास, मैं मालिक हूं, नहीं तो नहीं है. सेम वे अभी क्या होता है, पटवारी होता है एक, पटवारी अभी बताता है कि भाई ये जमीन तुम्हारी है, ये जमीन तुम्हारी है किसी गांव में. उसके पास एक फरद होती है या एक कैडेस्ट्रल मैप होता है. अब क्या कर रहे हैं कि इसी चीज को डिजिटलाइज कर रहे हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड डिजिटल लैंड रिकॉर्ड मॉडर्नाइजेशन प्रोग्राम, DLRMP. तो जितनी भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैं, जितनी भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैं, उसको कन्वर्ट कर रही हैं कार्ड में और उसको डाल रही हैं कि ये डिजिटलाइज हो जाएगा और इसके बाद इसकी जो जमीन की जो भी उसकी लैंड है दैट कैन बी मेजर्ड थ्रू दैट ओनली. ओके, so that is what the program is going on, and we are one of the empaneled agency who has been working with that. We have completed more than 30,000 square kilometer till date. So mines, every mine right now, पहले क्या होता था, माइंस में चोरियां बहुत होती थी, ये सब चीजें होती थी और गवर्नमेंट को बताया नहीं जाता था. ठीक है, the same thing has been taken by the Ministry of Mines, and what they did is उन्होंने बोला कि ड्रोन सर्वे कराना is now mandatory. Every 6 months they have to do it and they have to submit the report. Okay, so they cannot do any type of false commitment and they cannot lie with the government at the moment. And मीडिया में तो ड्रोन कैसे यूज होता है, फिल्मों में कैसे यूज होता है, you everybody knows. So how it can be utilized in topographical surveys, power, mining, infra and heavy industry. Site suitability analysis, किसी साइट पे हमें कुछ बनाना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको बताता हूँ, क्या मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूँ थोड़ा समझाने की आप लोगों को. केदारनाथ में फ्लड आया था, किसको पता है? सबको पता है. मंदिर को कुछ नहीं हुआ, क्यों? कोई वजह? हाँ, भगवान शिव बैठे थे, ये तो मैं मान सकता हूं, लेकिन कोई और भी वजह है? हाँ, रॉक वॉज देयर in the background. Okay, so the backbenchers, please be attentive. So what I'm trying to say, there is a typical studies are there by which you can do the flood analysis, and the data you would require is digital terrain models of that particular site. And the digital terrain model can be derived from the satellite images as well as from the drone based images. And afterward that the hydrologists used to do the study from where you get the fresh water and that can be routed off. Okay, तो वो जैसे पर्टिकुलर एरिया था वहां पे नेचुरली ही वहां पे राउट था. अगर वो नेचुरल राउट नहीं होता उसके लिए, फ्लड के लिए, then everything will be flushed out. And that has happened with several temples earlier. लैंड एक्विजिशन मैनेजमेंट, अभी बहुत सारे केसेस में अब नए नए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बन रहे हैं, चाहे वो रोड है, रेलवेज है, तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को जरूरत होती है और वहां पे जो लैंड एक्विजिशन किया जाता है दैट कैन बी हेल्पफुल इनटू दैट. द GIS कैन रियली हेल्प इन दैट. Chain detection, so if something is there today and then after you wanted to check it after 10 years, that can also be checked out. Visual inspection of different type of structures, layout optimization, environmental mapping. This is something which is very critical at the moment. आपको गाड़ियां चलाने से रोक दिया जाता है, 15 साल पुरानी गाड़ी नहीं चलाने दी जाती है. कहीं पे कोई आपको इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करना है, then you would not be able to do it. So all these things, the mapping can be done, the environmental mapping can be done. Okay. माइन मैपिंग, आप माइंस में जो स्टॉक फाइल्स होती हैं उनका वॉल्यूमेट्रिक कैलकुलेशंस कर सकते हैं. आपने कभी कभी देखा होगा लैंडस्लाइड हो जाते हैं बहुत सारे. डू यू नो दिस थिंग? जितने भी हिली टेरेंस होते हैं वहां पे लैंडस्लाइड बहुत होते हैं. उनके लिए रोकने का तरीका है कि स्लोप मेजरमेंट स्टडी की जाए, एंड देन यू कैन डू दी सेम थिंग विद द हेल्प ऑफ डिजिटल टेरेन मॉडल एंड ड्रोन बेस्ड मैपिंग. And you can do the slope stability analysis. Mine mapping a little bit, how you can calculate. And we also utilize in archaeology. You know that the archaeology is something, archaeology and heritage is something which is where you can actually utilize the drone in a best way. कितने लोगों ने सीक्रेट ऑफ सिनोली देखी है डिस्कवरी पे? एक ने भी नहीं देखी होगी लग रहा है. किसी को भी इंटरेस्ट नहीं है हिस्ट्री में. वंडरफुल. So please just watch it, then you will find the best use of drones in that. In agriculture, you can utilize very long corridors. So there are a lot of things to showcase, but I think the people are not so interested. I'm just trying to showcase the different datas. Can you see here this image, the last image? This is 4,800 years old mummy, which has been, excavated directly from the Sinolish near to Bagpat area in UP. Okay. And when they were taking it up, it's broke. And you can make these kind of 3D models, dam surveys, flood modelings. This is the way that you can do the railway inspection in a very fast manner during the construction stages, the bridge during the construction stages. This is called construction monitoring, finding and creating the new corridors, encroachment studies. And this is something which I wanted to show you. A 3D model of the Nagpur Metro Rail Corporation, which we have done it in 2015 itself. Whereas when the corridor was not there and they wanted to build the corridor along the road, okay, in the middle of road, and then you need to have the foliage outside. They wanted to figure it out, okay. And this is a project in Uganda on the Nile River that where we were trying to make the dam and did this study for that. You can see this Nile River here. Bridge inspections that you can see underneath the bridges. This is New Delhi Metro Rail, New Delhi Railway Station, where we have done the complete 3D mapping. This is in Noida itself, a railway mapping. Thank you. If you have any questions, let me know. I think I am bang on time. Yeah.
Can we do? You were discussing about the various.
अरे भाई कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है, कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है उसको तो जवाब देना दो यार. Just be patient for some more moments.
You were talking about doing the different surveys using drone. So is it like processing of the data? Is it offline only, or we can do real-time processing also with that?
Ma'am, the data is so heavy that you cannot do online processing at the moment as the systems availability. And as we talked about, the different type of quantum computing is not available at the moment. We were talking all about the different type of cores, like Atulji said. So we don't have that kind of systems availability. However, I have the system which is more than 15 or 20 lakh rupees, which is having 24 GB of graphic card, and it's about 8-core system. Still, it is not at par that you can do it with the cloud computing. However, it is possible. Yes, we are trying to do it. That's not the area of research, but you can do up to a certain level. Limitations are there. We are still doing it. Yeah. Just leave, छोड़ दो यार इन लोगों को अब. चलो यार. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. We finally wrap up this session, and we are very truly grateful and appreciate the time you have given to us for each of your keynotes. Thank you so much, ma'am. And sorry for the lack of sportsmanship that we might have shown, but I'm sure you guys will understand. And thank you so much, ma'am, once again.
Students, it's just a matter of 2 more minutes as we bid our speakers a goodbye and thanks note. A gratitude and appreciation is something that we look forward to have your patience so that we can just bid them adieu and give them our appreciation and request them if we could have a relevant session with the relevant speakers in the future so that it is more focused, the audience are more focused, and it is almost like a closed classroom session rather than having a conference based thing where we can interact more. So, thank you so much to all the esteemed industry leaders for sparing your valuable time. I understand everyone is so much pressed out of the time. In spite of that, they are with you. They have come up with so many openings, and unfortunately, it was very a sorry figure to see that you were not responding to even the opportunities that were brought in. But my dear students, a request to you all, this is how the door opens and the opportunity knocks. If you miss it forever. So request you all to stay attentive. All these workshops are meant, drop by drop, you can get the advantage and benefit of it. With that note, once again, may I request Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey, sir, Director and the workshop chair, to kindly hand over the appreciation token to our guest. May I request Mr. Atul Bhargav, sir? Extremely sorry to pull out your time, but I must say your session was very, very nice. It was bound to be interactive, and I could say that it pulled some interaction. Thank you so much. May I request the other guests from ST Microelectronics as well to join in, and may I request Priyanka to kindly hand over our token of acknowledgement. Thank you for coming here to our campus, and look forward that you be in our campus again and again. Mr. Alok, uh, Mr. Alok, may I request you to kindly escort Mr. Ratul Bhargav sir and his team to Wall Street, please. May I request Mr. Sumit Kumar Sharma to kindly join us. Mr. Sumit Kumar Sharma, small token of appreciation for you. Thank you for coming here, and our special thanks to Mr. Rajiv Singh and Mr. Ratul from Sopra Steria for being so supportive. Thank you so much. Thank you from Team ICEIL. May I request Mr. Rahul Jan to kindly step forward? May I request Ms. Priyanka Singh to kindly escort Dr. Sunita Prasad? Thank you, sir. It was indeed a pleasure to have you in our campus. I've been reaching out to Mr. Rahul since long and wanted him to be in campus, and it is so nice that he made it during this ICIL. Thank you, Mr. Rahul. Thank you, Dr. Sunita Prasad, ma'am. It was indeed a pleasure. In a short time, you agreed to our request to be here. Students, can we now show up the energy? I know now you are almost very energetic. Thank you. That was really good. May I request esteemed industry leaders to kindly step forward? We will have a group photograph. We'll just have a quick group photograph. Volunteers to join in. Volunteers, student volunteers to join in. The last 1 minute click, my dear students.
hello.
Fine attention.